Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome back to the main account. Another POV commentary coming your way. We're playing Ivern, of all things. I will explain why. But yeah, here is the load of Meduda. So we have a Draven Smurf with a very interesting name. I will be honest, if you look at his name, keep attention to what type of player you're expecting him to be. But yeah, what I'm pointing out here, by the way, so our top laner is a mid lane main. Our mid laner is a support main. And our support is a top lane main. So if there was communication in Champ Select of someone going, hey, I main this, I main this, I main this, they could have three of them swapped to then be on their main roles. Obviously, you could say, how the hell does that happen in an autofill system? It's bizarre. We don't know if they all queued up as that primary role. Like this Zac top lane, he may just randomly this game gone, I'm going to play top lane this game. So that screws the whole thing up. But this game probably is titled or something of like the most frustrating game or something of that nature. And oh my god, I'm gonna guarantee right now, and I'm gonna spoil it, by the way. We win. You'll see why I'm spoiling it, because by about 20 minutes in, you will want to stop watching. I beg you, keep watching, because it is the most frustrating game I've ever realistically played. And it is mainly because of the Draven. I mean, no, it is because of the Draven. You just watch. So the reason I was playing Ivern, by the way, just to go over that, is I think I was pretty late into the pick order. And, you know, we have a Morgana mid, which is a bit weird. We have a Zac top who does more damage than he should. We have a Draven and we have a Talia. And it's like, oh, okay. So what we don't really have, and this is the thing, is an actual support to enable a Draven. We don't have that. So, you know, Morgana, you could say, has it a bit, but not really. She's a mage support and she's playing mid lane. Talia, again, is a mage support. So when it comes to a Draven, I think giving them a shield, but also having a champion that is building the redemption, that is building the Mikaels, is quite a good thing. So I've played, obviously, a few games of Ivern here or there. This is actually the first game of Ivern on the Huzzy account this whole year. From memory, I think I asked the Zac, can you put a ward down top lane? It would be risky for people to invade an Ivern, and I will actually just tell you guys where the counterplay is. They actually get early damage of Blitzcrank here. So how do you invade an Ivern? Or should you, if you're against one? You can. So, for example, if I was the Vi, and I'm, say, starting on her red right now, when do you invade an Ivern? About now. But where? You invade his blue. So right now, I've marked all three of these, and where am I naturally going to go? I'm going to go to the other side of the map to go mark them. This is how you clear on Ivern. So if Vi right now finished her own red, but instead of doing other camps, went into my jungle, there's nothing I can do. That blue is gone. And I wouldn't overdo it. I wouldn't, you know, if I was that Vi, I wouldn't run into my jungle and try to kill the blue, the wolves, and the grump. But in this time that I've gone over here and done those two markings, the Vi could have ran into my territory, killed the blue, and been out. So that's just a little tip for everybody. You can do it. So what I'm showing you here, this is actually the fastest clear that you can realistically do on Ivern. So you go and you start with those three markings. You then return. You then go to the other side of the map. You mark two. And you're like, you didn't mark the Krugs. Yeah, keep watching. This is literally the fastest clear that you can do. So you then return to the other side of the map. Maybe, again, even faster if I used that jump there. It could have sped me up by 1 second. You never know. So again, using my Q for the mobility. And if you notice the clock, by the way, so fast jungle clearing is typically done in about 3 minutes 10. And that's considered pretty damn fast. The Krug spawns about 3 minutes 30. I finished at 3:06 for an Ivern. It's a really fast clear. So that's why, by the way, you don't kill... you don't go mark the Krug, because your intention is you're just going to use Smite on it anyway. And then I've basically got full carte blanche of, I can use the vision there, I can see the Briar, I know where she is. I've got the territory now, though, of this area. I put a bush there, so it basically gives to the Briar the whole, like, I'm here. And I'm not going to wait, instantly smite it, so it takes out the attempted steal, if there were to be one. And then I'm going to go gank mid. I don't love the idea of ganking top, it has to be said. I do land that Q. It gives Morgana the free bind. One thing I should have done, I think we do get the kill. We do. One thing I should have done there is put the W on me earlier, because that would have empowered my auto attack quicker. So it's good to get the kill, though. My bot lane is diving the enemy. Bad Q there by me. I am warning them that Briar's going to be down there. So basically, I just tell the Draven in pings, just go for the kill. Even if you get killed, it's worth it. He actually does die to a Blitzcrank. Worth. Unfortunately, top lane, Zac goes down. I'm actually asking for help right here. I'm like, yo, Morgana, can you come over? I know Briar's going to want to be here. And we go end up for the fight. So this is where, like, I was basically prepared. It is worth mentioning. We get her flash and then she's going to W over. The Briar is changing slightly. Would have already happened by the time this video comes out. They are reducing her strength because she is basically a low ELO menace. She can actually do pretty well, obviously, in high rating as well. But they're reducing how strong she is in some aspects, but they're giving her one thing back, basically to add skill expression, because again, she's too, in essence, basic in many ways. They're allowing her to ward up to ward up with her Q to both friendly and enemy wards. So similar to a Jax. I don't know if Jax can actually do it to enemy wards. I can't remember. I think he can if they're in vision. So again, Zac actually goes mid lane to get another gank off, which is great. Kai'Sa goes down in bot lane. I will say, if you follow me on Twitter a few nights ago, I probably tweeted, like, why is AP Kai'Sa back? Why does Riot allow that? This game was partially due to that. I don't know about you guys, you can answer it in the comments, but I literally to this day don't get why Riot allows something like AP Kai'Sa to exist. It is so anti-fun. If you're not the Kai'Sa, it's unreal. Like, you can beat them in lane phase, they're really weak in lane phase, but eventually when it gets to the state that it's Wing from over a screen away, it does crazy amount of damage. I don't have smite if you're wondering, like, what's going on here. So I don't have smite, which is really bad. But this also fight is really bad. So yeah, I didn't have smite, and therefore no smite means I couldn't stop the Briar from securing that. So really bad fight overall. I just used flash to get away. Blitzcrank came over where obviously Talia did not, so they had numbers advantage. But yeah, that was an unfortunate situation. And here, I don't know, man. Like, I don't mind dying in way. I don't know. I didn't expect Blitzcrank to actually hook for me, but I guess it also makes sense because Black Shield Morgana probably, it's quicker to Black Shield yourself than anyone else. So he was like, wait, I'm just going to go for the Ivern. But there we go. So yeah, that was a bad situation. Am I surprised that we lose early fights? No, you actually can see me writing right now. Is our strength is bot side, not mid top? Yeah, no. So Zac eventually gets stronger with, I would say, a 2-item power spike. Morgana is a support that shouldn't really be mid lane, so we're not going to have any strength realistically there. And Briar, in an actual fight like that, is going to be miles stronger than me as Ivern at this stage of the game, 100%. To be honest, at all stages of the game, she obviously will out damage an Ivern, clearly. I'm, in essence, an enchanter support jungler. So what I decide here, as I was literally, as you guys saw, typed it to myself, was our strength is bot side, not mid top. So what do I decide to do? Go bot side, because that's our strength, right? So if I just stay bot lane, my Draven's already fed, I basically turn into his enchanter support, and it works quite well. So Blitzcrank goes down. If I didn't go there, they would have been outnumbered 3v2 with also the enemy mid laner there, so they might have died. That would have potentially been a bad situation. I did notice Briar was just above mid lane, and I'm like, oh, hang on, I'm going to see here, and yeah, it's up. So stealing buffs, remember, is really important nowadays. It's arguably it's more important later into the game. So I am looking for a Q, but it's not going to happen. Blitzcrank once again back here. Briar ult coming down. Yeah, let's be honest. Look how aggressive my bot lane is. It's going to be down here. I don't even know. Like, that Draven might have wanted that to hit him. Because, like, realistically, with how much strength difference there is with my bot lane and theirs, our Draven's level 6. Their Briar is, their Kai'Sa's level 4. And what, oh, by the way, watch this. So you'd never think in a million years this was going to go good. Oh my god, watch this. So Darius takes aggro of the tower, and Zac actually ends up killing him. I didn't watch the whole fight, but yeah. That is, it does show, you could say, the slight unhealthy power that Zac has got, because I don't think any top laner, like literally what champion in that situation would have ended up killing him without dying. I don't think any. Like, literally, what, in that situation of jumping or going back to your tower, what top laner would have been able to get back to their tower but not just that, also end up killing the Darius with then surviving themselves. I truly don't think any champion apart from Zac would have done that. Like, Warwick probably would have died. Like, even the big Healy ones, getting back to tower, they would have just straight up got killed straight away. So, yeah, I don't know. Zac might have been nerfed in this last patch, possibly. Again, for you guys, for me recording this, the patch is in a week, but I'm recording this to be a week ahead. So, it's a bit confusing, to be honest. And again, I try not to make mistakes when it comes to like bulk uploading and everything. I've already made one mistake with a Belveth title. It's just when you've got, you know, you're juggling 20 videos or whatever. Yeah, mistakes do creep in, unfortunately, when especially you're a one-man band like I am. It's just the way of it. So I think I decide here, like, why am I top lane? Realistically, the Zac just killed the Darius. We don't have strength there. You know, they bot lane get another kill. Arguably, me being there is risking death more, because I'm a much easier target for a Darius to kill than a Zac. So he'd just beeline it for me, and I would probably die quite fast. So I decide to not realistically look much for the Darius. Briar ult coming down again, probably going to be for bot lane, which it is. They just end up killing the Kai'Sa. Briar, I think, is down there. I do then decide, because I think actually the Darius is overextending at this stage. Zac engages with his ultimate, get the Daisy. I'm going to stay really, or try to stay really out of range, and we end up getting the kill. Draven triple kill. So again, right now you're watching this and going, Huz, why is this a video? You know, your laners, you're winning. You know, you're doing great. So if you notice, Draven just there died, I believe, for the first time. He muted himself straight away. So his first death, he mutes himself. After he gets a triple kill, which is pretty good, he gets a triple kill, he just dies once and mutes himself instantly. You're like, okay. That is where I will say I paid a bit attention. I was like, that's a bit weird. Like, you're doing really good, you die once, like it's not the biggest deal in the world. After getting a triple kill, which is a good situation. So it just made me kind of just acknowledge, like, that's a bit odd. You know, his name obviously gives away he's not the best person in the world. Unfortunately, once again, well, Draven gets hooked. I will say that does become quite a theme this game, but with the shielding, etc., and with how fed he is, it doesn't matter. So the enemy team, I don't know if they just didn't focus him, or like they just didn't, or they thought he was dead straight away, because he got hooked. I don't know if Ari followed up with damage or whatever. I've got no idea. You know, fist bumps, obviously, as I said in the last POV commentary, I'm starting to do that more because it's like a positive thing that's not overly obnoxious. But yeah, I decided to go back before continuing clear because, again, I need to maintain strength, and I haven't got a completed item right now, so I'm going to get my Moonstone. Again, if, you know, you're newer to the game randomly, you found this video, you might be like, why is a jungler buying support items? So yeah, Ivern is a very unique character. He is literally an enchanter support, but as a jungler. So he, as you probably can tell, in average combat in jungle, you don't kill the jungle. Here, you're friend of the forest. So you're basically marking them, and then eventually when the ring is complete, which that speeds up later into the game, you just basically hug them away, but you get the exact same XP, you get the exact same gold than if you did kill them. So kind of like my ethos when it comes to if my laners are doing good, what do I do sometimes as a jungler? Yeah, I do objectives, and Ivern's not the best objective champion, clearly, but Draven just killed Darius in top lane. Briar also just went down, so I'm like, well, screw it, I may as well do the dragon. It's up, you know, if the enemy team isn't doing very well, that this should be free, even though it's going to take a little while. Thankfully, the Zac comes over and helps, and we do end up getting it. Ari, as you can see, was in the area. And yeah, that ring around this scuttle, that's what you've got to wait for. Again, excuse that I don't know the perfect timings for it. I'm not actually an Ivern player. I'm just comfortable. I'll play whatever champion, whatever's needed for the comp. Morgana does overstay. I think she was overstaying for a bit of tower damage there, so she will likely go down. Obviously, the Kai'Sa with that build, they're insanely weak in the early game, but they get obnoxiously strong later. But yeah, I know I was talking about that earlier. As I've mentioned a few times, like, Riot historically has come out and, like, even recently gone, right, we're getting rid of that because it's really frustrating, blah, blah, blah. You know, AD LeBlanc was one. They actually just said Corki in general as a champion, they think is one of these type of things of, like, we don't want Corki to be meta because he's just not fun or not skilled, whatever. Isn't that just Kai'Sa in general? Like AP Kai'Sa. I like Kai'Sa as a champion. I like AD Kai'Sa a lot. And by the way, that is good. In no world, Brian, unless she thought that obviously I had smite, but in no world she should have really smited that. If I was Brian, maybe I would have fought the Ivern. But I managed to get the smite out when Rift Herald has just spawned. But that's actually pretty good. Hook does come down, does get the Talia, unfortunately. And this is it, baby. So we're me and Draven against the world, but I am his enchanter at this stage. So shielding him at every stage I can. He does what he can, but, you know, that was, I think, all 5. So Darius does do a flash to go for me there. And I just go, right, I'm just going to flash away, I guess. So yeah, a bit unfortunate. I then get hooked, and I think that is going to be me dead. And I tried to get the Blitzcrank, but it just doesn't happen because, again, Briar's damage versus mine. We do recover it a little bit. So again, not the worst situation in the world. These two are trying to get it. Briar does flash. So there we go. So arguably, and again, it starts happening a bit here. So the Draven, you can sell, you know, he's a Draven one-trick, very toxic Smurf. He's done very well, clearly. Mechanically, he's an okay player. He's done his job as a Draven. What does the Draven start doing now? Arguably, this is where the game starts to go a bit, you know, You'd think with how fed he is, you'd be, you know, winning the game in the next 5 minutes. The Draven basically starts just running down mid lane with no actual strategy whatever. Just runs down mid. Whether he's with 5 of us, whether he's by himself, that is all he does. Even if you're this fed, you don't just do that. Like, you know, I don't know. It's an odd situation. You'll watch, obviously, as it progresses. And, you know, what I'm trying to do, I'm noticing that this is already happening. I am running over to try and help the Draven. You know, I don't want him to just walk down mid lane. You have to also remember there's a Blitzcrank in the game, so you can get hooked at any time. So I'm like, right, cool, that play's done. You know, we don't have anyone mid. Let's go and do Rift Herald. I'm going to mark this, and then, you know, thankfully, I think Draven does come over here. But, yeah, so even if you're this fed, I know the premise of what some people may even argue for this Draven's behalf is he's a Draven, he falls off, go crazy in mid. Yes and no. Like, there's a time and a place to do it. You don't just, by default, just run mid lane. You do it in a coordinated sense. If there's other things to grab on the map, you still grab those things. So I'm going to go over and collect that. So again, mid lane, here we go. Morgana is with him. Talia is not. And if you look at the minimap, again, bit of a crazy play happening. They try to go for the RE. I summon the Rift Herald to, all right, I'm on my way. Tally-ho and all that good stuff. So again, we are in that mindset of, right, we are looking to go all in. So we do nearly get the tower. It goes down now. We don't manage to get anything after that, and someone gets hooked. The Morgana gets hooked. So again, me and Talia get E'd there by Darius. We are 2 split, arguably, in this fight, I will say. Draven gets charmed. I'm just going to stick with the Draven because, again, I am treating myself at this stage. I'm just his enchanter support. And hilariously, and I don't even know how it's possible, so far in this fight, the enemy team hasn't ended up with a kill. They don't end up with a kill. So again, another one of these situations you're like, what the heck? Like, this video is roughly, I would say, of me recording this right now, at its halfway stage. And you're like, how is this at halfway? It doesn't make sense. I know. Keep watching. This is what I mean. So again, Cleanse coming by Draven, gets a double kill. So you'd realistically think, oh my god, you're getting an inhib at 17 minutes. Now, I've always told you guys, getting an inhib really early sometimes is actually a really bad thing. This game, spoilers, is a little bit of an example of it being a bad thing. Because in essence, if you don't end, like, really quickly from getting a really early inhib, all you are realistically doing is feeding quite a lot of strength into the enemy team. In super minions are good XP, they're good gold, they're a nice thing for, you know, a Kai'Sa to get for free, for example. So I think the Reds buff's coming up, which is what we're waiting for, and then obviously Infernal Dragon is coming up. Draven does end up killing this, which is fine, because I think we were supposed to both get that, but for some reason I didn't, and I don't know why. That also didn't grab me over the wall, which, again, I don't know why. If anyone knows why I didn't get that red then, because I've got my 1200 smite, I know it's not 20 minutes into the match, because that's when everyone gets it, but shouldn't we be at the stage that the jungler and one person gets it? Is that not a thing? I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, very odd. I don't know. So I'm going to go and just hug everything again. So I said in the Volibear POV commentary, one of the things you've got to maintain doing every now and then, you've got to remind yourself as a jungler of like, right, keep making sure you're just still farming a bit. And, you know, we are level 11 now, so you can see the ring that allows us to right-click things. It is going quicker. You see that there? Boom. That's a blue. Someone can grab blue. Why didn't I get red? Because it's if you kill it or someone kills it, I think. So I smite that one, by the way. And here's what I mean, right? So I want to do a bit of farming, which is a good thing to do. I want to go buy. I'm going to get my redemption. Hey, guys, I can purchase it. I'm clicking and telling people. And where is the Draven? Talia is with him, but look how overextended they are. Like, this is what, like, he instantly just crazy overextends in a time that we are just trying to get a couple things. I just want to finish some farming. I want to buy some items. Draven instantly tries to surrender, and boom, look what he's doing. So if anyone is a bit like, yes. So I will say, spoiler, he does, every time he does this, he's just a ragey baby. He does redo it just before he spawns, but it does show you the type of player that this is. And for those that are like, you know, oh, he's just frustrated because he's doing well, that's fine. You can be frustrated when doing well, but you don't just run down mid lane as 1 to 2 people when other people are needing to buy. Like, it's okay that, you know, we will be looking to end the game soon, but him doing that just sets us back like crazy. And then obviously it, again, just buying troll things and undoing it, it just shows that he's literally, in the way to explain it, he's having a child temper tantrum. You know, that is literally what the Draven is doing. So I end up just smiting that straight away, so everybody gets red buff now because we're after 20 minutes. And once again, what happens? Respawn directly down mid lane. So this is the pressure that we're going to have, is we just have to keep going with this Draven now no matter what. Which, it is worth saying, strategically, one of the nice things about having an early inhib is the amount of pressure it creates is insane. You should go to side lanes, use the early pressure of a super minion, and then go kill top, go kill bot. And he gets hooked again, by the way. Completely unleash the amount of pressure that an early super minion would bring. So Draven goes down, which again, he just walks into the enemy team, gets hooked. He does get hooked a lot, this guy. And, you know, arguably we have a black shield, but still, like... And Zac also gets killed, by the way. But yeah, it's really hard to play with this guy because he's just running down mid and then he gets hooked a bunch. So... This is why this game, even though it should be easily a free win basically straight away, we're not winning. So I think you could say like, oh yeah, you're that fed with Draven, you can just run mid lane. Yeah, maybe. But, you know, getting hooked is really bad. But at the same time, Zac wasn't with us. And strategically, if you're doing the smart way to win this game, of using the strength that we've got, etc., it's not just running mid 24/7 no matter what. It's using the early pressure of a super minion to go bot/top. I'd arguably, if I had my complete way and I had complete control and I was like managing the units of what we've got here, I'd go bot. I'd literally use the super minions for pressure in mid. I'd have 4 people bot, Zac top lane. I'd then use the pressure that we've got to probably open their base bot lane. And then when we've got the super minions going in bot lane, I would then... do Baron, which again, we're starting Baron now, but this without any pressure. Like, this is the problem. Draven gets hooked again, gets one shot. So again, the pattern of this game is, I think the Draven got a bit cocky, and I will say here, I am starting to be annoyed by this Draven. So I do report him. I was going to report him anyway because of his name. I think that's pretty obvious. But yeah, he's obviously troll selling his items as he's been doing already. But yeah, he's just an absolute magnet to getting hooked. So at this stage of the game, I am thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, we've lost. And that's the thing, like, as sound, you know, as dumb as it is, and you can see, legit, all he needs to do is not get hooked. But it's all he's doing, which is pretty true. So in the last, I think, 3 times he's died to getting hooked only. So... yeah, so clearly they did very good in bot lane early. Arguably, you could also say, like, the Kai'Sa's build is idiotic in the early game. It's amazing scaling. So it's basically giving a Draven an absolute free early game. That's literally what it's doing. Which is kind of what you don't want to do against the Draven. And I do think at this stage of the game, we probably could have won this game if we didn't play the really stupid, I'm just running mid lane 24/7 that we've been doing, what, over 5 minutes? Easily. It's easily been over 5 minutes that we've been doing this strategy. And all that's ended up is death. Unfortunately, Talia was trying to get rid of the boing boing there, but she's fine. If there was other people other than Blitzcrank there, she might have ended up dying. We do get another dragon, which I think is our third dragon. So we're one dragon away from completing Dragon Soul, which I think this game was Mountain. And once again, lo and behold, where are we? We're mid lane again. So if I was Morgana, and I will say, and you know, I would just be glued also to the Draven and bonk, and she's dead. Very skillful there by Kai'Sa. I would just be glued to the Draven and prepare Black Shield for Draven. You know, it's that simple. So again, he gets hit once again. Briar coming down. He does hit it. And we just have to work together. And he gets completely chain CC'd. And he goes down. So the one thing with our team comp, it has to be said, I do get the Briar, which is good. And maybe this was the negative so far of picking. And, you know, I am FFing. Because at this stage, you know, it's also worth knowing, I do think the game might be a loss. We've only got Draven for damage, and he is just a magnet to getting hit by everything. And for those people that might be like, obviously, I gave the spoiler earlier that we win this game, of like, oh, but if you had your way, Huz, you know, you would have lost the game. It's the principle that I've always talked about. We actually spoke about it earlier on stream, that I think there's a content creator, someone said to me, AZAP, he's doing like a challenge of 0 surrenders. He is never surrendering. I don't agree with it. There are games that you can win that might overall be better to surrender. And I know some people are like, what the heck does that mean? If you're doing an 8-hour play session, let's say, you're going to be playing a lot of games of League. If there's a game, for example, like this was my last game of the day, by the way, because I knew I'm not playing anymore. If you've got a game like this that is so tilting, so frustrating, but you've got 6 more hours of play session to go, sometimes it's worth just getting this game out of it, because then, you know, the more you're in this game, the more you're going to get frustrated. And if you did lose this game, like by the enemy team blowing up your Nexus, you are going to be mega tilted, and there's not a lot you can do about that. So sometimes, as I know, you know, people are out there going, really? Yeah, sometimes actually just getting out of this game is healthy, in my opinion, obviously. Again, not everyone will agree, and that's fine, but that is sometimes my premise about it. So looking what I've thought here, and it's also when it is a no surrender vote, I'll always continue to play to win. I'm not going to just give up. And hilariously, it's something that I've mentioned for many years. Be honest, I did not do it tactically this game, but sometimes throwing out a surrender vote, and yep, we're getting outskilled by a Kai'Sa there. Sometimes a tactful Blitzcrank, again, we need a pick is what we're basically saying here. And I don't think get one yet. But yeah, sometimes a tactful surrender vote can help your team kind of go, right, okay, guys, reset a bit. So the enemy team, the Darius is pushing. I'm using a redemption just to get health bars back up a little bit, by the way. Because, yeah, you know, the enemy team, I hit a root. Well, Morgana hits the root, I then hit the Q. That should be a dead Ahri. It is. The Kai'Sa's obviously just trying her best to stop us basing, because the enemy team is going for a split push tactic now. And, yep, obviously Kai'Sa AP is very skillful. Yep. So the enemy team themselves also gets an inhib, by the way. So both teams have opened up the enemy base. Draven, or Morgana, sorry, both are having a fight. I think Briar and Ahri. So Draven, I think, is going to die. A little bit, like, you know, definite overstay. I think the Draven could have gotten out, if I'm completely honest. I just think he wanted to fight, I guess. You know, Morgana might have died, but the Draven surviving would have been a better situation there. So wave clearing as Ivern. Don't think the enemy team can end, though, because obviously they have a dead Ahri. So I think we're safe for now. But yeah, so very weird game. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about AP Kai'Sa. I think you can tell what I think. I'm not a fan in any regard. But it is what it is. I don't get why Riot allows it, because it's just not a skillful, fun thing to play against. It's just not. I grant you, it's fun to play, and that's where people may defend it, and they get a bit too attached to how fun it is to play. It happens all the time. Just because something's fun to play doesn't mean it's healthy for the game, you know? So, I don't know. It's just the way of it. I really hope they get rid of it again. And that's the thing that keeps happening, is they get rid of it, and then it comes back. And then they get rid of it, and then it comes back. It's like, why did you guys keep letting it come back? I don't know. So, Dragon, obviously, on the table at the moment. Fight breaking out. The Zac went for a very early engage we We don't have the Draven. I failed my flash as well. Draven randomly mid lane by himself. Don't ask me why. He just didn't continue to come to the fight. I don't know. That was a weird one. So Draven, the guy that has been wanting to fight the whole game, and it was a good engage by Zach, by the way. Yeah, Draven just decides to not turn up. He then goes mid lane. The enemy team's obviously going to do Dragon. Him going mid lane, again, you could argue it's an okay thing to do. It's realistically his only play he can do. He's going to try and get the inhib. If he gets the inhib, it adds us a bit of time, bit of pressure. But what you need him to do is right now, watch this. So he gets the inhib, run away, leave. Do not fight anyone. And what does he do? He stays. He's looking for a kill. He just needs to run. That's all he needed to do. So he's going to fight. He kills the Ahri. He's then going to fight a bit of the Blitzcrank. But the longer he stays in this situation, the more likely someone's going to jump on and kill him. And that's exactly what's happening now. So it's a bit of greed. Or not a bit of greed. It's very greedy. But that's how this Draven's played the whole game. Not the brightest bulb in the batch, you could say. But at least he kills the Ahri. At least he gets an inhib. So it's something. Unfortunately for me, Morgana's taking my jungle, which I don't know why. She's actually lower level than me, and she's the mid laner. Again, reminding people she is an auto-filled support. Hence why she's playing Morgana, which is a bit peculiar anyway. But yeah, so we're at level 14. You can probably see, look how quickly the XP bar. So you actually now at this stage can wait to just secure those. You don't have to like walk away. It's quick enough that it will happen. And Baron is now a thing. So Briar's level 16. As I said earlier, if you get an inhibitor early and you don't, you know, end the game, you are in essence just feeding XP into the enemy team. And that's what's happened this game. So looking for a Baron steal, but it's going to be, you know, hard pressed to get one. And boom, was close. I saw 1100. So technically, if I did the most perfect smite, I might have been able to get that. Draven ult comes down at the clutch time. CC on the Darius, we do get him as well. So overall, them getting Baron, is it worth it for the enemy team? Arguably no. It's a 1 for 2 right now. Draven has also just respawned. Briar and Darius are both pretty damn strong. So arguably, I'd say that was not a worth Baron. If you're wondering what the hell are you doing, Huz, just go mid lane. I was looking for Kai'Sa. The thing is, and they find Ahri, which is absolutely insane. I was looking for Kai'Sa initially, of thinking, oh, she might be around here. And if I'm honest, maybe, well, right now, and this is again where I can be kind of neutral to myself, I don't know why I didn't just run straight to mid. Because the premise of looking for Kai'Sa didn't make sense, because she's got Baron base. She's going to base really quick. I should have just hightailed it straight away to mid lane. I decide that's what I'm doing now. So it's better late than never. And we're going to try for it. So really nice Talia bump there. That does kill the Kai'Sa. And in theory, that will be the game. Briar's on me. Hello, Mrs. Briar. She, I think, does kill me here. No, she doesn't. I managed to survive. I don't have redemption for 20 seconds. Blitzcrank hits another hook, but we're just going to do tower damage. And ladies and gentlemen, we actually finished and we won this game. This was one of the most frustrating games in League I think I've ever played. I don't actually, hilariously, and this is going to sound weird, watching this back has not actually given me the same level of frustration that it was playing it, if that makes sense. It was more frustrating playing this than watching it. So I don't even know if it looked that frustrating, actually, from the outset. I think there was some. Again, Draven just only running down mid lane and then getting hooked 3 times in a row. Bit peculiar, when, again, the smart thing, I think, would have been, right, we got the early inhib, which is questionable. Right, let's go bot lane, get that inhib. And I think that would have just been a smarter way to play. So we go 3-5-21. 11k damage. Obviously, I'm an enchanter support, so I'm not really built to do damage. But yeah, I'm saying genuinely the most dumb game ever. It was a dumb game. Let's be honest. So, but at least we get another win. Again, damage is obviously not what I'm supposed to do. Healing is not what I'm really doing. Shielding, that's what I'm supposed to do. So I did 11,000 shielding. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. That game was frustrating. Peace. Call down!